We're going deep into the world of the X-Files.
Love it.
But not just any episode.
Okay.
We're talking about the season 1 finale.
Oh, wow.
The Erlenmeyer Flask.
Yeah, I mean, talk about an episode that just kind of set the whole tone for everything that came after.
It really did. This is May 13th, 1994.
A long time ago.
This episode airs, becomes the most watched episode of the whole season.
Wow.
8.3 million households.
That's huge.
That's a lot of people tuning in to see what Mulder and Scully are up to.
Right. For those who maybe haven't had the pleasure of seeing the X-Files,
Right.
It centers around these two FBI agents, Fox Mulder, Dana Scully.
Right.
They investigate these cases. The Bureau has kind of like tossed aside the X-Files.
You'll explain.
The unexplained, the paranormal, the strange.
Right, the things that make you go,
Exactly. And the Erlenmeyer Flask really takes all of that and throws it into this huge conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
Government secrets, alien biology.
Yeah, this is where it gets real.
This is where it gets real.
So our mission today is to dissect what happened in this episode.
Okay.
Why was it such a turning point?
Yeah.
Not just for the characters,
Right.
but for the show as a whole.
The whole trajectory of things.
And we're going to uncover some really cool behind-the-scenes stuff as well.
Oh, the fun stuff.
All right, so the Erlenmeyer Flask. Where do we begin?
Well, it throws us right into the action.
Okay.
A high-speed chase
Oh.
in Maryland.
Okay.
We got Dr. William Secare.
All right.
He's near the waterfront, and what's crazy is he's displaying this almost superhuman strength.
Really?
Even when cornered, he's fighting off these police officers.
So he's already, there's something different about this guy.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
Then he gets shot trying to get onto a ship,
Oh, no.
jumps into the water.
Okay.
Police lose him.
He's gone.
But here's the kicker.
What?
His blood is green.
Green. What? Green?
Like, this is not normal.
This is not your average everyday chase.
Wow.
This is something else entirely.
What did that green blood, like, what did that signify right away?
Oh, it was immediate.
Yeah.
It was a visual cue.
Yeah.
That this was something unnatural.
Yeah.
Something potentially extraterrestrial.
Oh, okay.
And soon after this crazy incident,
Okay.
who shows up? Deep Throat
Deep.
makes his usual shadowy approach to Mulder.
Right, right.
He presents this case not as some isolated thing, but a piece of something way bigger.
Ooh.
He says, this is the key to understanding something huge.
I mean, Deep Throat always seemed to show up right when Mulder needed a little push.
Yeah, a little nudge in the right direction.
The rabbit hole.
Deeper down the rabbit
So
hole.
Mulder and Scully, they start investigating,
Right.
and they find another scientist, Dr. Terrence Berube,
Okay.
and they discover Secare was driving Berube's car.
What was Deep Throat's role in all of that?
Well, he was almost insistent that Mulder keep going with this lead. Even though the connections might not be obvious right away.
Oh, interesting.
Like there are these unseen forces at play.
Right, guiding Mulder along.
For reasons we don't quite know yet.
Yeah, there's always that sense of like, who's really in control here?
Right, exactly.
Then we've got to talk about the crew cut man.
Oh, yeah. He can't stay away for too long.
He enters the picture, and things get very dark very quickly.
Very dangerous.
Dr. Berube is murdered.
And it's staged to look like a suicide.
Classic.
Classic cover-up.
Bury the truth.
Hide the evidence.
But Mulder
Our keen-eyed Mulder.
notices something out of place.
Uh-oh.
An Erlenmeyer flask
Okay.
with a label that says purity control.
Purity control.
And this seemingly insignificant piece of lab equipment becomes a major clue.
A major clue.
So Scully, she takes the flask to Georgetown University
Okay.
to have it analyzed
Okay.
by Dr. Ann Carpenter. And what they find is mind-blowing.
Oh.
Bacteria
Yeah.
that Dr. Carpenter says is extraterrestrial,
Not from this planet.
not from this planet.
Wow.
I mean, talk about proof.
Right. That's some pretty concrete evidence.
How did that discovery change their understanding of what they were dealing with?
Well, it took it beyond Mulder's theories, right?
Yeah.
It brought in science.
Oh, okay.
And for Scully the skeptic,
Yes.
this was undeniable evidence
Yeah.
that something truly extraordinary was going on and that the government was likely covering it up.
Oh, things are starting to connect.
Yeah.
While all this is happening, Mulder finds keys at Berube's home.
Keys?
Keys to a storage facility.
Okay.
And then, get this, Secare calls Berube's office.
What?
Desperate to connect.
Wow.
Mulder answers, pretending to be Berube.
Okay.
Secare mentions a secret government project.
He's trying to tell
He's trying to tell,
what he knows.
but then he just collapses. And guess who's listening in the background?
Who?
The crew cut man,
Of course.
lurking in his van.
Always there, in the shadows.
Always watching. What did that phone call tell us about how urgent Sakara's situation was?
Oh, he was desperate. You could hear it.
Yeah.
He was desperate to get the truth out.
Right.
He was in danger.
Yeah.
And the fact that he collapsed mid-sentence shows how ruthless those trying to silence him were.
So they were onto him.
Absolutely.
They knew.
And the crew cut man being there just confirms it.
Yeah.
They're always one step ahead,
Watching, waiting.
anticipating every move.
Okay, we have to talk about the ambulance scene.
Oh, intense.
During a procedure,
Okay.
poisonous gas
Oh, no.
releases from Sakara's body.
But
It's chaos.
us?
Paramedics are in danger.
Oh, my gosh.
Sakara escapes.
He's out there.
That whole sequence was so chilling.
It really was.
And apparently it was inspired by a real event, the Gloria Ramirez case.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it blurs that line between fiction and reality.
Yeah. A little too close for comfort.
It makes it so much creepier.
It does.
So Mulder finds that storage facility
With the keys?
with the keys.
Okay.
And what he sees inside is truly disturbing.
Tell me.
5 men
5 men.
suspended in these tanks,
Oh, what?
filled with liquid.
Okay.
A 6th tank is empty,
All right.
and the address,
Okay.
1616 Pandora,
Pandora.
like Pandora's box.
That can't be a coincidence.
What do you think that symbolized?
I mean, it's like they're opening up this box of unimaginable consequences.
Right, by digging into these secrets.
You're unleashing something they might not be able to control.
Ooh, good point.
And then tragedy strikes.
Yeah.
Scully gets some terrible news.
What happened?
Dr. Carpenter and her family,
Oh, no.
they've been killed in a car accident?
Oh, gosh. So they're not playing around.
No, they are not.
These forces, they're ruthless,
Absolutely ruthless.
trying to silence anyone who gets too close.
It's a high price to pay for the truth.
It is. It's scary.
It is.
Mulder finally finds Sakar
Okay.
hiding in Berube's attic.
He found him.
He found him.
Ah.
But just as he's getting information,
Okay.
Crew Cut Man shows up again.
Ugh, he's like a bad penny.
Kills Sakar right in front of Mulder.
Oh, no.
And Mulder gets exposed to that gas
I guess again and captured.
and captured.
So now they've got him.
Things are not looking good.
Not good at all.
But Deep Throat comes back.
He's back.
Contacts Scully.
Okay.
Offers to make a deal
A deal.
for Mulder's release.
Okay.
He gives Scully these credentials
Credential.
to access a high containment facility.
Fort Martin.
Fort Marlene.
What does Scully find there?
What's waiting for her?
An alien fetus.
No way.
Preserved in liquid nitrogen.
Wow, that's the proof.
It doesn't get more concrete than that.
That's the smoking gun.
The climax of this whole thing happens on a freeway overpass.
Okay.
Deep Throat brings the alien fetus.
He's holding up his end of the bargain.
He's holding up his end.
But then he's shot by the Crew Cut Man.
Whew. He can't be trusted.
Why that betrayal? Why then?
It's a huge turning point.
Yeah.
I mean, Deep Throat was this vital source of information.
Right, mysterious but helpful?
Always shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah.
But his death, it shows how dangerous this all is.
Yeah.
No one is safe.
Wow.
As Crew Cut Man escapes, they release Mulder from the van.
Okay.
Scully goes to Deep Throat.
Yeah.
And his dying words,
What does he say?
trust no one.
Chills.
Get chills, right?
It's such an iconic line from the whole series.
And it perfectly captures the feeling of the show.
Oh, yeah.
That paranoia, that sense of unease.
Yeah, you never know who's really pulling the strings.
Exactly.
So what happens next?
Well, the X-Files unit gets shut down. Mulder is defeated.
It feels like a loss.
It does.
But the episode doesn't end there, does it?
No, it doesn't.
We see the smoking man
Oh, the smoky...
putting the alien fetus in the Pentagon.
Back where it all started.
It's like a full circle moment.
Back to the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Showing that even though they had this setback,
Right.
the conspiracy is still out there.
It's bigger than them,
So much bigger.
and it's still operating in the shadows.
They might have won this battle, but the war is far from over.
Looking back, Chris Carter really knew what he was doing with this episode.
Oh yeah, he had a vision.
He said the Erlenmeyer Flask was the culmination of that first season.
Right.
He wanted to solidify the show's mythology.
Beyond just UFOs, right?
Yeah, government conspiracies, genetic experiments.
We are real meat of the story.
And he wanted to give Scully that undeniable proof
Through Dr. Carpenter's analysis.
that aliens are real.
Within the world of the show, of course.
Of course.
It was important for her to see it.
So why kill Deep Throat?
That was a big decision.
It was.
It was meant to shock the audience,
Right.
to show that no one is safe.
Yeah. anyone could be next.
Exactly.
It really raised the stakes.
And it added to the paranoia.
Yeah.
Nobody can be trusted.
Did you know the network was worried about shutting down the X-Files unit?
Really?
Yeah, they thought people would think the show was canceled.
I could see that.
But it was such a good cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, it left everyone wanting more.
And it allowed them to deal with Gillian Anderson's pregnancy.
Right, in a way that made sense for the story.
They incorporated it into the next season.
Very clever.
That mirroring of the pilot episode's ending.
Yeah, with the smoking man and that late night phone call.
It was brilliant.
Really well done.
And that tagline change.
To trust no one.
Perfect.
So fitting.
Really sums up the whole episode.
It does.
And did you know the Erlenmeyer Flask was R.W. Goodwin's directorial debut?
Wow, for a first episode, that's pretty impressive.
He said it was the best script they'd done up to that point.
He had a good feeling about it.
Yeah, the excitement, the underlying terror.
He really captured it.
Speaking of behind the scenes,
Oh yeah, tell me more.
that opening car chase,
Okay.
it was filmed in an abandoned shipyard up in North Vancouver.
Oh, cool.
Goodwin said it was perfect.
Perfect for the mood.
Yeah, the atmosphere.
And they even used it again in later episodes.
And the monkeys at Berube's house,
Yeah, monkeys.
apparently they were a bit of a challenge.
Weird.
Goodwin wanted them to act erratically,
Oh, I can imagine.
but he said it was a fun challenge.
Monkeys will be monkeys.
And that storage facility,
Yeah.
1616 Candora,
Well,
that address was a deliberate choice.
they knew what they were doing.
Adding that extra layer of meaning,
That symbolism.
and even the green blood.
The iconic green blood.
It was just fluorescent liquid and some clever lighting,
Wow, so simple.
but so effective.
It really was.
They did a lot with a little back then.
They did.
And the scene where Sakara comes out of the water,
Okay.
apparently the actor was afraid of water.
Oh,
They had to work around that.
I guess that makes sense.
But they got the shot
They
and
did.
the alien fetus.
That was a big reveal.
It was. But the model started to melt under the studio lights.
Oh, no, really?
It was a delicate situation.
Literally melting.
But they managed to capture that iconic image.
They did.
So looking back, the Erlenmeyer Flask wasn't just another episode.
It wasn't.
It was the genesis
the beginning.
of this grand conspiracy.
The tapestry of the unknown.
The first real deep dive into the alien stuff.
Yeah, before this we had hints, glimpses,
Right.
but this episode, it laid the groundwork.
For everything they came after.
It established a mythology.
And Deep Throat's death.
Oh, such a loss.
So much weight to that moment.
And that line, trust no one,
Chills.
it echoed through the whole series.
Became a guiding principle.
For Mulder and Scully, but for the viewers too.
Yeah, like we're all in on the conspiracy now.
We're all looking over our shoulders.
Even the title, the Erlenmeyer Flask,
Yeah.
it became a symbol.
Of those clandestine experiments.
Right, mixing the earthly and the otherworldly.
That's what the show is all about.
And the green blood.
Oh, yeah, that visual.
So unsettling.
So unnatural.
It hinted at the darkness to come.
The things they were willing to do.
You can really see this shift in production value in this episode.
Yeah, it feels like a turning point.
Like they knew they had something special.
When they were stepping up their game,
Chris Carter took a big risk,
he did.
ending the season like that.
Killing Deep Throat, shutting down the X-Files.
But it worked.
It left everyone wanting more.
And it became a hallmark of the show,
Those big cliffhangers.
keeping us hooked.
And that simple trick with the green blood.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what they could do with practical effects.
And that feeling of waiting all summer for the next season,
Oh, the anticipation.
it was torture.
But so worth it.
So the Erlenmeyer Flask, it wasn't just an episode.
It was a statement.
It laid the foundation for a phenomenon.
And it still holds up today.
So here's a final thought for you.
Okay.
Given everything we've learned,
Yeah.
what do Deep Throat's words really mean?
Trust no one.
When you're faced with these huge secrets,
When the truth is hidden.
who can you believe?
It's a question that resonates even beyond the X-Files.
It does.
Makes you think about the world around us.
It does.
Who's in control? What are they hiding?
So go back and watch the Erlenmeyer Flask.
With fresh eyes,
See it in a new light.
think about those words. Trust no one.
And see how it changes your perspective.
Maybe do some research.
Read some fan theories.
There's a whole world out there.
Thank you for sharing these sources with us.
This was great.
It was a trip down memory lane.
I loved it.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Until then, keep searching.
For the truth.
Out there.
Bye, everyone.